A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English, 'cause it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English.
Hello everyone, welcome to A+ English. I'm Mike.
是 Clean here.
And we're talking about words of the year from 2022.
Oh.
Did you know that every year these the dictionaries often, like the Oxford English Dictionary or Webster's or whatever, they often have a list of words of the year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And sometimes they're new words, right? Or they're words that maybe have been around for a little time, but because of what happened last year in, politics, the news, and the world, this word became very popular. A lot of people were using it more, and so they'll publish a list often in December, January, at the end of the year to kind of say that was the word, or these were the 3 or 4 words of last year. So if you look in your dictionary, or you're just interested in how language can change and how new words can come into our world often through technology, the word of the year will definitely catch your attention. So here's our warm-up question. Which dictionary do you use most often and why?
Dictionary. I only use online dictionary when I want to check something.
Okay. Do you use like a special one, or do you just look on Google?
I think I just looked on Google.
You just look on Google?
Usually.
Okay. Yep.
But I think the one that I use most often is Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Yeah,
okay.
just that one, like I'm really used to it.
That's a pretty famous one. Oxford English, Cambridge. That would probably be a bit more British English. And of course, there's Merriam-Webster, things like that. And I think dictionary.com is a website you can go to. I would say I often use two.
Okay.
Because I like to compare their answers, because sometimes they're a little bit different.
Okay.
So that can be interesting. And of course, as you guys probably know, American spelling and pronunciation can be different from British or Canadian, Australian. So sometimes looking at two is a good idea. Anyways, let's check out the article and find out about last year's word or words of the year.
Words of the year from 2022. Warm-up question. Which dictionary do you use most often? Why?
Each year, dictionaries choose a word of the year. Here are 4 from 2022. Merriam-Webster, gaslighting. In a 1944 movie, Gaslight, a husband secretly changes the house's gas levels. When his wife notices the lights get brighter and darker, he calls her crazy. So, gaslighting means to mislead someone and make them question their memories. In 2022, people looked up this word 1,740% more than before. Cambridge, Homer. Homer is American slang for a home run in baseball. The word was in the game Wordle. Many people outside North America didn't know this word. So nearly 75,000 people looked up Homer in one day just because of Wordle.
All right, so the article begins by basically explaining this idea. Each year, dictionaries choose a word of the year. This isn't like organized like the Oscars, Best Picture, Best Actor. There's a bunch of different dictionaries, and they all do it at different times, but, they just want to get the news out there, get some attention from people, but it's not a very organized thing. It's not like the World Cup or something like that. If you win word of the year, it's not like glory, you don't get a gold medal. It's just interesting, really. So here are 4 from 2022, because I guess these are 4 different dictionary companies or publishers, and they all have their own idea for which word is the word of the year.
这边有没有看到一个 Here are blah 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 什么？代表就是 here 的倒装句。那我们先进到今天的 Magic Box， 我们再回来。
Magic Box。要把一个故事说清楚呢，我们需要时事人地物。比方说啊，我副船长遇到了我最害怕的鳄鱼。讲完呢，你可能黑人问号，很多问题哦。你是在哪里遇到的啊？什么时候遇到的啊？你为什么害怕？对不对？所以呢，今天就要来讲一讲这个里面的地方副词。OK， 学会这一招呢，以后再讲在哪里就解决了。所谓地方副词顾名思义就是要讲在哪里。比方说 at the entrance， 在入口的地方，或者是呢 under the table， 在桌子下面等等哦。通常呢，我们是一个介系词加上一个地方，表示在哪里。OK， 比方说呢 ，a stranger is at the entrance， 有一个陌生人在入口，他是谁呀？或者是呢，我的课本在哪里？你有没有看到啊？Your book is under the table。 你的书呢掉在桌子下面啦。这个呢就是地方副词的用法哦。今天呢我们要来补充一个有趣的用法咯，那就是当我们要强调地方的时候呢，就可以把地方副词调到句首咯。而当我们呢把地方副词调到句首的时候呢，我们就要将主词与动词的位置对调。也就是说原本主词在前，动词在后，它这个顺序就会变成动词在前，主词在后，也就是呢倒装句的句型啦。这种用法呢，我们除了强调地方之外呢，也会让句子听起来很优美哦。很常呢在文章或是诗曲里面可以看到了。讲了这么多你可能不飒飒，我们来一起练习一次咯。刚刚我们说呢 ，a stranger stood at the entrance， 有一位陌生人呢站在门口。如果呢我们是要强调呢这个陌生人站的地方，我们呢就可以把 at the entrance 放到句首，并且呢把主词跟动词的位置对调咯。这个句子它就变成 at the entrance stood a stranger， 意思一样呢，但是句子强调的不一样哦。本来呢我们是想要强调呢有一个陌生人的这件事情，倒装的句型呢我们就是要强调呢这个位置是发生在门口咯。很常见的还有这一句了 ，Here comes the bus， 公车来啦。这个呢也是一个倒装句的用法哦。不过我们要特别注意了，当我们句子里面的主词呢是 I、you、he、she 或者是 it 这种人称代名词的时候呢，就不用倒装啦。比方说呢 ，Here comes it，OK， 这边呢我们用 it 这个人称代名词，这样子倒装呢是错误的。我们呢要说 Here it comes 才是正确的咯。我们呢可以再举几个例子 ，On the grass lies a little girl， 一位小女孩呢躺在草地上。如果呢我们要说 she， 我们就要说 on the grass she lies，OK， 我们呢就不倒装了。或者是呢 in the box sleeps a cat，OK， 一只猫睡在箱子里面。如果呢我们这里要换成 it， 应该要怎么说呢？没有错 ，in the box it sleeps， 这样子。你也学起来了吗？
所以每一年呢，词典都会选出一个年度词汇。那我们今天要讲的是2022的4个，我们今天可能会先介绍2个。
All right, so let's mention that one we talked about, Merriam-Webster, a very well-known American, I should say, dictionary. And I know that for a lot of companies who publish magazines, this is one they often use. So as a student, if you're looking for a good dictionary, I know that Merriam-Webster, especially for American English, is very popular, very well known. So what was the word that they chose for last year? Oh, okay, this is a word I've heard, gaslighting. Gaslighting, all right? Now, we're not talking about actually making light by burning gas, although there is a link to that idea, but gaslighting, I'm surprised, actually. I heard this word being used maybe 5 or 10 years ago, but because of things in the news, maybe it was just used by more people last year than before. But where does the term come from and what does it mean? Because it's not just about lighting with gas, as I explained. It says in a 1944 movie, movie, Gaslight, a husband secretly changes the house's gas levels.
Right.
Okay, so this comes to us from an old black and white movie about a husband trying to trick his wife by changing the gas levels in this house. This would be kind of like changing the electricity in your house to make the lights darker and lighter as a way of tricking someone in your family to say, oh, is there something wrong with the lights? And you go, no, but you're actually tricking them.
所以第一个字呢是煤气灯效应 gaslighting，那就是在1944年的电影呢《煤气灯下》，一个丈夫偷偷地改变房子的煤气量。Why did he do that?
I don't know. I guess I'll have to watch the movie.
OK， 好吧，所以这边有出现一个 change， 也是我们今天第一个单字。Let's take a look.Change 就是改变，所以我们通常讲话如果要改变话题，你也可以说 to change the subject。比如说 Can we change the subject? I don't want to talk about work right now. 我们可以换个话题吗？我现在不是很想谈论工作诶。那我们英文里面也可以说的改变谁的主意，就是我们可以讲 change someone's mind。比如说 He changed his mind under the pressure from others. 他在别人的压力下就改变了主意了。那我们提醒一下大家哦，这个字也是可以当名词的哦。那我们另外看一个句子，也都是动词。Tony changed the day of his party from Friday to Saturday. Tony 把他的派对从周五改到礼拜六了。
All right, back to the article and back to this 1944 movie Gaslight. So this guy is changing the gas levels in the light in the house. His wife notices it, but whenever she says, hey, is something different? He always says no. So when his wife notices the lights get brighter and darker, he calls her crazy. He's being mean. He's trying to make his wife doubt her own experiences. And that way she will she will start to think that maybe she's not thinking clearly and he can trick her. That's not nice.
That's not nice, of course not.
Not nice at all. That's gaslighting.
Yeah, 所以 crazy 这个字就是发疯，它不是一个很正常的字哦。那我们来看一下。Crazy 呢有发疯的、疯狂的意思，它意思有两个。那我们课文中比较偏向的是心理上的生病的感觉 ，mentally ill。那我们通常说发疯了或疯狂的，我们可以说 go crazy， 或者看到一个东西很迷恋那种感觉。The crowd went crazy when the band came on stage。乐团上台的时候，大家都疯了。那所以呢，你今天对一件事情很狂热，也可以使用这个字哦 ，be crazy about something。比如说 ，Daniel's daughter is crazy about soccer. Daniel 的女儿呢是非常喜欢足球的。那我们看一下一个句子。Joseph left his job because his old boss made him crazy. She shouted and lied often. 这个 Joseph 离职是因为他的前老板让他精神失常，因为他老是对他大吼大叫，然后又很喜欢对他说谎。所以当他的妻子呢注意到家中的灯是忽暗忽明的时候，老公居然说他疯了耶。
So, from that movie, we know now gaslighting, it says, so gaslighting means to mislead someone and make them question their memories.
OK，mislead 就是误导，因为它来自于 lead 这个字，有带领、领导，你加一个 miss， 它就会变成一个 opposite。好，那我们看一下我们刚刚出现的单字 question。Question 在这边指的是动词哦，还有怀疑的意思。那我们也可以当盘问，所以比如说被警方讯问，也是可以使用这个字。比如说 He was questioned by police twice yesterday. 他昨天被警方讯问了2次。那么平常当名词呢，大家应该有听过，比如说回答问题就是 answer the question 或 answer a question 都可以。所以比如说你干嘛不回答我啊？ Why won't you answer my question? 那我们看另外一个句子。We all questioned Steve's story about his reason for missing work. 我们都很怀疑 Steve 对于旷工理由的说法。所以呢gaslighting 这个字就是去误导他人，然后让他们对自己的记忆产生怀疑。
And here's why also it might have been chosen to be a word of the year. It was popular. It says in 2022, people looked up this word 1,740%. 1,740% more than before. Not 1,740 times more. No, it's 1,740% more than before. So basically a lot more people were looking up the word gaslight, and I assume using the word gaslight last year than any other time. So that's a good reason to make it the word of the year. Even if it was a word that was around before, it became very popular last year.
所以 look up 就是查阅检索，所以在2022年的时候呢，大家查阅这个字的次数是比以往多出了1740%，所以是多出非常多，所以就变成 the word of the year.
There you go. Now we move on to your dictionary, the one you picked, Cambridge, the Cambridge English Dictionary. What did they pick? It says Cambridge Homer. The word homer. Homer is American slang for a home run in baseball. If you hit a homer, you hit a home run, and this is slang. This is a word or using a word in a way that baseball fans would understand, but other people might not. That's the thing about slang. If you understand the culture, if it's a word that comes from your community, you get it. Other people might go, huh?
对，所以这个 slang 就是俚语的意思。那这边有讲到 home run 就是全垒打。那 Cambridge Dictionary 他们挑出 homer 这个字，这是在美国用来指称棒球全垒打的俚语的意思。
Now, this is an unusual word because it's been around for a long time. I mean, even as a kid, I know that when you play baseball, it's great to hit a homer, to hit a home run. So why was it suddenly more popular last year? Baseball's been around a long time. It says the word was in the game Wordle. So including it in a very popular online social media game, that brought the word to a whole new group of people who didn't know the baseball slang. As it says, many people outside North America didn't know this word. If you're British, if you're Australian, if you're not a baseball fan, you might not know that word. And I think another thing that's confusing is Homer is a name as well. Right?
Yeah.
Homer, the Greek poet, Homer Simpson, the father in The Simpsons. And in Wordle, you're picking words. You're not picking names. So I guess a lot of people are like, Homer, wait, but that's a guy's name. That's not a proper word. Well, it is, but it's a baseball slang term. So that might have been confusing to people too.
所以这个字是出现在猜字游戏的 Wordle 里面。那很多北美以外的人并不知道这一个字的。
So, nearly 75,000 people looked up Homer in one day just because of Wordle. You can imagine these are all people who didn't guess it, who lost the puzzle that day. Like, oh, it's the Homer? I don't even know what that means. So these people all looked it up and then went, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I hope there's a better word tomorrow. Well, there you go. That's why it led to this very big spike in the number of people looking up Homer in one day. Interesting.
那我们来接下来看一下今天最后一个单字 nearly。Nearly 有差不多将近的意思，那我们通常可以说那 nearly as blah 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 代表什么差的很多，比如说 they made money but not nearly as much as they expected， 他们是有赚钱哦，不过远没有他们预期的那么多的意思。那这个字是来自于 near 这一个字，代表离什么不远。那 near 本身有可以当副词、形容词、介系词都是可以哦。那我们看另外一个句子。We're nearly at the park, so let's not stop for a rest now. For a rest now, 就是我们呢要到公园了，所以现在不要停下来休息吧。所以呢，因为这个字大家都不太确定，有点困惑，所以一天内有将近75000人因为 Wordle 这一个游戏搜寻了 Homer 是什么意思。
Yep, that's right. So there you go. A couple of the pretty cool, famous superstar words from last year. We're going to have a few more for you coming up tomorrow, but for now, it's time to review.
Review time.
All right, we have our little review time for the 4 new words that we came across in today's article. Those words were change, crazy, question, and nearly.
Okay.
Are we ready? We're going to play a game of opposites.
Yay!
So I will tell you the opposite meaning, or a word that has basically the opposite meaning to a word here. So if I said left,
right.
if I said moon,
The sun.
yeah, that's pretty opposite. That's pretty good examples. All right, so let's look at the words change, crazy, question, nearly. Are you ready?
Yeah.
My other question is, are you sane?
Oh, are you crazy?
Crazy means you've lost your mind. You have big problems knowing what is real. Sane means you're a fairly normal person.
So
and
you can also say insane.
Right, insane would be crazy. Sane would be fine, you're a fairly normal person. To answer.
To question.
To question is to ask a question. To answer is to respond or give an answer.
在这边 is more like questioning someone. So like I doubt.
Responding.
Oh yeah, 就是去怀
also
疑
be.
Yeah.
And also, let's see, what do we have? To maintain.
To maintain.
To maintain.
Okay, that means to keep maybe in the same situation.
To not change.
To not change.
Right? If you maintain your weight, you're the same weight. If your weight changes, you're getting heavier, you're getting thinner, or something like that. And far away from.
Far away from.
Far away from.
So nearly.
Nearly. If you're nearly there, you're very close. If you are far away from a place, you are going to be traveling for a long time. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. That's all the words we have for you, but we have more words of the year for you tomorrow, so come back for that. Until then, bye-bye.
Words of the year from 2022. Warm-up question. Which dictionary do you use most often? Why?
Each year, dictionaries choose a word of the year. Here are 4 from 2022. Merriam-Webster, gaslighting. In a 1944 movie, Gaslight, a husband secretly changes the house's gas levels. When his wife notices the lights get brighter and darker, he calls her crazy. So, gaslighting means to mislead someone and make them question their memories. In 2022, people looked up this word 1,740% more than before. Cambridge, Homer. Homer is American slang for a home run in baseball. The word was in the game Wordle. Many people outside North America didn't know this word. So nearly 75,000 people looked up Homer in one day just because of Wordle.
Word power. Change. Change. Tony changed the day of his party from Friday to Saturday. Tony changed the day of his party from Friday to Saturday. Crazy. Crazy. Joseph left his job because his old boss made him crazy. She shouted and lied often. Joseph left his job because his old boss made him crazy. She shouted and lied often. Question. Question. We all questioned Steve's story about his reason for missing work. We all questioned Steve's story about his reason for missing work. Nearly. Nearly. We're nearly at the park, so let's not stop for a rest now. We're nearly at the park, so let's not stop for a rest now.
认识字汇
Mislead. Mislead. Slang. Slang.